discuss with you ISO documentation. This documentation is made to cover ISO 9001 as well as ISO 14001 standards. Many companies are going for the combined system implementation like EQMS system for ISO 9001 and ISO 14001, or just now only for ISO 9001, but I am discussing in this session EQMS documentation, so they will be clear that in future when they want to expand their system to ISO 14001, then the documents remain same. So in this session I am going to discuss four main things. The first one is on the 4-tier ISO 9001 and ISO 14001 documentation structure. Then purpose of documentation. Why do you want this ISO documentation? The next one, the third topic is on flexibility in documentation. Which are the things one has to include in the documentation? So that we are discussing in these topics. And the fourth one is on the 4-tier documentation. The contents of various documents, the 4-tier, like the first one on ISO manual, then EQMS procedures, the third one on the test procedures and SOP, and the fourth one on the forms and records. Let us see one by one which are the things included in all these 4-tier of the documents. First, I will discuss with you contents of Environment, Quality and Management System Manual. This quality manual should normally include the following, though not necessary the same in order. You can include it in the various chapters. The first thing is to include your quality and environment policy as well as objectives. Second, brief background of the company. Please consider in your mind that this is also used by many companies as a marketing tool. So cover all details of your company's awards as well as achievements for last decade. You have to also cover the scope of your management system under ISO 9001 and ISO 14001. Some of the elements of ISO 9001 is not applicable for clause number 7, then you can include such items in exclusion. But at the same time you have to write down the justifications why such items are excluded from your system. The next, you have to write down chapter wise each element of ISO 9001 and 14001, how this part is implemented in your system. Such things you have to write down at the macro level. Next, you have to also cover your organization structure and overview of the entire process followed in your organization. Please remember, this EQMS manual is used as a promotional material. It should not contain any confidential information because you will be giving this manual to your customers whenever they request you. And when you write down the element wise details for ISO 9001 and ISO 14001, you can give the reference of your related forms or templates or your SOP or procedures to explain how this element is implemented in your organization.